I proceed further with whatever initiatives, whatever things we are going to do in middle sector. The new initiatives which we are going to take this year are as follows. First of all, we are taking national education policy. Earlier it was 10 plus 2, but now it has been shifted to four stages. First one is foundation stage, second is preparatory stage, third is middle stage, and fourth is secondary stage. Our standard fifth falls in preparatory stage, where kids they learn the things through activities. Here they discover things, they perform things, and everything is activity based. They learn by doing, right? And in the middle sector where 6th to 8th falls, here everything is experiential. They experience the thing and then they perform the things, like whatever in science, maths, arts, social studies, humanities, wherever they are, whatever they are doing, they are experiencing it and then they are working on it. Last stage is secondary stage, in which senior wing 9 to 12th grade students are there. This session we have started with bridge class course. Earlier also we were taking it, but this year we have taken it with little more concentration in order to bridge up the gap which we have found that was there because of the online classes of the previous session. So whatever queries came from the parent side, whatever queries came from the students, that we didn't understand the theorems, or we didn't understand in the maths of grade 4 or 5, you can say they were not problem sums were their difficulty in English, some grammatical concepts, somewhere in writing skill, wherever they felt like that they want help over there. So for first 2 weeks course we have adapted it as a bridge class, where whatever gaps we have found from the previous class we are trying to overcome those. Then only they will be able to move smoothly further in the current class. Our next initiative is to enhance their reading opportunities. It has become very mandatory to enhance their reading, because this is the major thing with which childs can imagine more. They become more imaginative, more creative, and it even helps them to enhance their concentration. Once their concentration is enhanced, their imaginary level is grown, definitely they will enhance the vocabulary. And if vocabulary is mandatory, when they have ample vocabulary, then only they become effective communicators. And we all want that our kids should speak comfortably in English. This becomes easy when they start interacting in English, and this gradually will start from reading. As last year also, during the online session also, we had library classes. This why so? Because instead of whatever they have in their text, we want them to read more. We want them to grow more, right? If they will read more, they will definitely enhance their vocabulary. Then we have even worked with their co-curricular activities. In this, we have renowned focus on curricular activities, where we help them to go through role plays, adapt debate, participate in debate and declamation, perform different kind of arts like art and craft things, dance skills, everything, so that they are collaborating it with their academic also and co-scholastic areas also. When they are doing it all together, they become more comfortable and they learn those things very easily, because someone is very good at uh, maybe drawing and painting, someone is too good at singing, someone is too good when someone visualize something. कई बार हमें लेसन याद नहीं होता, बट व्हेन वी गो थ्रू द रोल प्ले, हम उसका एक एक्ट बना के इनएक्ट कर लेते हैं उसको, देन इट रिमेन्स विद अस, वो हमारे पास रजिस्टर्ड रह जाता है. सो इट विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प देम टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर कंसेप्ट मोर क्लियरली. Next focus of ours will be on class assembly, right? Earlier we had it offline, and now we have started with online as well. In this assemblies, one is they perform the singing of the prayer and national anthem in chorus where they are singing all together, and individually also they get the opportunity where either they speak thought or news and a speech or a poem. The news and thought will be in English only, but for speech or for a poem they can use any language. They can speak it in Hindi, they can use Punjabi over there or English over there. The main core purpose of this is to enhance their confidence level. It will definitely build their confidence. So once they are confident enough, they will be comfortable to participate in any debate, any declamation, anywhere, right? And again, the other thing which will help them is we are started giving them rewards. Like in the assembly only, suppose someone has done very good in sports, we bring them on the stage and give them reward in front of the whole school. So by doing so, the students get motivated. The others also get motivated that he or she should also practice in that part so that he should also be appreciated or given some reward in front of the whole school. Now, I hand over to Ms. Urja Kapila to proceed further. Ms. Urja.
Thank you, Puneet ma'am. Thank you very much. A very good morning to all the parents. Please let me know if I'm audible. My name is Urja Kapila, and today I'm here to discuss or to talk about the initiatives taken by CBSE as well as our school. To begin with, I'll start up with the initiatives taken by CBSE to revamp teaching and learning. The following approaches have been classified. That one, very first we have is experiential learning, next competency based learning, subject integration, and art integration. All these approaches have already been practiced in our school since years now. It's just that now they are named under certain labels. So let's just understand what is the importance of all these approaches in the process of teaching and learning. So the very first among them is experiential learning. What is the concept of experiential learning? What is actually experiential learning? Experiential learning is learning through experiences. Experience, as we know, is a great teacher. As Puneet ma'am in the earlier slides have discussed about the importance of experiential learning in NEP, that NEP has focused on experiential learning in the middle stage, specifically for the students of grade 6 to 8. So now it becomes actually very important to understand the utmost importance of this concept. So to start with, we usually see kids devoting a lot of time in taking notes and reading, which of course is very important and very useful to understand the theoretical concepts. But we actually have always believed that it is very important to engage the child in whatever he's learning. He must know what he's learning, he must be engaged what he's learning. So be whether he's in lab, whether he's in workplace, in playgrounds, inside or outside the classroom, wherever they are, they should have that hands-on experience which will allow them to solidify their understanding. So if the child is not experiencing what he is learning, he's not at all actually learning. So it's really like learning how to drive a car from a YouTube. दैट्स इवन स्कैरी टू इमेजिन, क्योंकि आप जब तक आप कार चलाओगे नहीं, आप कार कैसे सीखोगे? कार सीखने के लिए कार को चलाना ज़रूरी है ना, सिर्फ मैनुअल पढ़ के या फिर यूट्यूब पे वीडियो वीडियो देख के वी कैन नॉट लर्न हाउ टू ड्राइव अ कार. सिमिलर इज़ द केस विद द स्टूडेंट्स. कुछ टॉपिक्स, कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स, कुछ एरियाज ऐसे होते हैं जो सिर्फ पढ़ के समझने थोड़े मुश्किल होते हैं, जिनको करके देखना, जिनको परफॉर्म करना becomes extremely important. So this is the reason why we as a school has always been after experiential learning, has always emphasized on experiential learning, because we always have felt that our students learn through what they experience, they learn through their real life experience, and will definitely implement the experience in their coming future. Next up we have is competency based education, or we can call it CBE. So what exactly is competency based education? So every subject has a set and fixed curriculum, right? So most of the curriculum these days is actually time bound, where the child has been given a particular time slot that this much is the time in which you'll complete a course. Say a maths class has a fixed amount of time, like 52 minutes for factorial, for factoring polynomial, or 108 days for algebra, 4 years of high school maths. But little did we realize that learning is actually variable. So many students don't learn at the same pace. So there are some of the students, who master the skills, but many do not. So competency based education is about shifting the emphasis from how time is allotted to whether or not the child is actually competent, or whether he can apply or demonstrate the competency. So as in the previous year during the COVID times, when the classroom shifted was classroom teaching was actually shifted to online teaching. So during that time the school has realized the sudden change and made some changes in the curriculum. We've literally reduced the curriculum to reduce the burden, to just reduce the stress on the kids. As in, we can take an example, whether there are like 16 chapters in a science textbook, and they were only made to do 10 or 12 of them. The only objective behind this was that they should learn what they are doing. Instead of doing all 16 of them and understanding none, it's better to do less of them, but to understand them well. So even during the time of COVID, the school or the learning was not at all curriculum bounded or time bounded. In fact, it was quite flexible, constructive, and very, very effective. So you would have seen in schools also, where we have seen that sometimes a child is not able to clear a test, or he might not clear a class properly, so he's promoted to the next class, and the class moves on with new material and new syllabus has been started. But this is not the case with Drishti. We allow, or we provide our kids with more than one opportunities where they can demonstrate their competency. As exactly, this is what we've done in the previous days. I think from April 1 we've started a bridge course that is started to fill the learning gaps of the kids. And this is, I think, is the proof that shows that school has always been focusing on competency based education, irrespective of the fact that whether the child learns in one go or not. So we are actually beyond this criteria. Next up we have is art integrated education. So art integrated education or learning is actually learning through arts and with arts. What integrated education simply means is integrating the content areas, or you can say academic subjects, as we can say science, mathematics, social studies, languages, with the performing arts, like with different kind of arts, be it music, dance, painting, or you can say role play, drama, anything. How exciting it is when I say that we can learn science through music, we can learn mathematics through dance. So it gives a very creative mode for learning and teaching as well. So with art integration, it's not really difficult to set up the whole structure. Even if you display a piece of art and ask the kid to observe it and draw some assumptions out of it, that is also art integration. It's no less an art integration, because you're allowing the child to learn through the visual arts, which will enable him to use all his potential and all his skill to make the observations. When he'll be looking at the painting, he'll be observing every portion of that painting and making the observations. So this is how art integration actually take place. And this kind of education or approach, where the child is completely engaged and involved, this kind of learning stays with the child forever. Unlike in the cases where the children go for the cramming mode of learning. बहुत सारे ऐसे बच्चे होते हैं जो पूरा साल पढ़ाई नहीं करते, but then 2 days before the exam they wrote up everything, and फिर वो exam में deliver कर देते हैं सब कुछ, and then the moment the exam gets over, whatever they have learned in the previous year, it's all done and dusted. So to actually overcome that scenario, art integration has been introduced, so that our kids become very competent, so that whatever they have knowledge they have acquired, whatever skills they have acquired, it will remain or retain with them throughout the life. So this is what we've actually been focusing on this year. Then comes the vocational training. So now the question arises that why did the government felt the sudden need to introduce vocational training in this sector, where they have made it a mandatory part of the curriculum to vocational training has to be there. So what could be the reason behind? You'll be getting all the answers to this question as we proceed further. So as you all are aware, with the term pandemic, which obviously came into existence the last year, which unfortunately, very sad to say, has left and has forced out many people out of their jobs, making them jobless. So one of the reason behind that was the lack of focus on hands-on experiences or skills. So people these days are so after getting the degrees and directly to land up into a job that they have forget the importance of additional skills, or they hardly give a try to learn the additional skill, whether it's carpenting or whatever it is, to and they don't even realize that how important it is to for their survival. Like if other things won't work out, how important it is to know at least one other skill that will be helpful for them, for their survival or coming in the future. And for this only reason and for more other reasons, government has introduced vocational training in the curriculum of this sector, which includes 10 days bagless period. Now under 10 days bagless period, what does this really mean? So under this period, the kids will be free from all the academic classes, and they will be released from the burden of the books that they're carrying on their shoulder, and they'll come to school and they will be encouraged to learn the vocational crafts such as carpenting, gardening, and then pottery making, etc. And for that they will be interning or working with the local experts such as carpenters, electricians, and then gardeners to actually learn all these skills. And this training will ensure that no child will remain unemployed. If there is something, or for any reason there's a child or anybody who's not able to get a job, or for some reason we don't want to continue in a job in our professional qualification, then we always have that one skill that we have learned during that vocational training period, which we can use for the survival. And of course there are times when we can create a career out of that skill as well. So this is how vocational training is going to be super beneficial for our kids in the schools and plays an important role as well. So next up we have are the initiatives taken by schools. So besides the initiative taken by CBSE, our school has also taken some initiatives this year. The very first among them is the feedback call to parents. So this is where we have called the parents, asked them for their concerns, asked them about their concerns, and address their queries. So this actually, I must tell you, has turned out to be super beneficial, because the feedbacks we have received are going to be very very helpful for the smooth functioning of the coming session, because parents had to say so many good things about the school. They have so much to say about the school, and they've got to give a lot of feedbacks, which definitely will be very very helpful in the coming session. Next up we have the portable lab. What is portable lab? As the name suggests, that a laboratory which can move from one place to another. Now, in case what happens is, at times we are not able to take kids to the laboratory due to some reason, be it the shortage of time or be it for some other reasons. So in that cases, the laboratory itself can be taken or can be classroom, where one thing, kids will have an easy access to experimentation, and of course it saves up on a lot of time as well. So this is really good and convenient mode to do the experimentation. Next up we have is STEM laboratory. Now STEM refers to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So since we have always believe in project based learning, and as a result our students have created some projects and models on the concepts of different concepts of sciences and maths. Since usually what happens is, when students enter the laboratory, what they do is they set up the apparatus, they make the arrangements, and then they perform the experiment, and after that they make the observations. But this is not the case with STEM laboratory. What happens here is, this basically lab is a preset lab where everything is already been set up. In this case, the child need not to do any setup. They just need to enter the lab, perform the activity, and note down the observations. So this is made very very convenient for the kids. So all the projects and all the models that they've created is placed into this STEM laboratory for their convenience to come and perform anytime. And next up we have is medicinal strip. So medicinal strip, I'll tell you, this is the discovery during the COVID times. This is actually when COVID time has come, this particular invention or discovery in our school has been made. It is due to COVID that we have understood, or we have suddenly, I would say, understood the importance of Ayurveda, realizing the need of the hour. Our kids also have created a medicinal strip which displays wide range of medicinal plants along with their uses. So this is actually placed somewhere or located somewhere between the playground, where the kids, when they are having a dispersal time or they having their sports period, when they come out, they explore all these medicinal plants and read up the uses, and they'll get to know a lot about them. And next up we have is the use of Quest app to assign homework. Now this is a very interesting mode of assigning homework. Quest app is actually a homework app. So many of the parents would actually agree upon this with me, that there are times when kids actually crib or make excuses about doing homework, and they're not in a mood to do homework. But with Quest app, homework is no more a burden. It's actually homework reimagined. It's a very fun adventurous task where they can do their homework with just few easy taps. And of course it saves up on a lot of time and energy. Also it identifies the gaps in students learnings, which leads to significant and extremely good output. So now I request Ma'am Puneet to proceed further with the rest content.
Thank you, Ms. Urcha. So I hope that the new initiatives which we are going to conduct this session have been clear to you. And here I would proceed further, where I will touch the Global Gateway Program. In this program, the student teacher from Indiana University, USA, they come to our school for a couple of months, roughly 2 months. They stay here with us, they take the classes, and students learn different things from them. Like, we are so fortunate enough that our students get exposure to be taught by the student teacher who are from others, not only from the other cities, but even from the other countries. Certain points which we all have to take care throughout the session. First is that second Saturday is an off for all the students. We will try to take the queries. If any students have any problem, please send to me on my personal window so that I can help out those students on Saturdays, even during the days, working days also. If you feel like that your child is not able to cope up with certain concept, please let me know so that I can help those students by taking help of my staff. Next is your attendance. 75% is mandatory for all of us. 5th to 8th, I have found that wherever I have my subject teacher as my class teacher, like suppose maths teacher is my class teacher, I will attend all the classes of that teacher. But after that, throughout the period, I will be there in her class. But after that, whenever maybe I have English class, maybe I have science class, I would miss out that class. So for first 10 days, I have accepted that if you have not attended one class, it's okay, I will mark your attendance. But in the coming week, if you have not attended one class, I will mark you absent. So you have to take permission from your class teacher, and you have to inform your subject teacher as well that why you have not attended that class. Then only you will be marked leave. Otherwise, you will be marked absent. Any child who will be absent for 5 days will be informed through letter from school. Parents would receive a letter in which we will let you know that your child was not attending X amount of period for these 5 days. Then is the remedial classes. We have planned that immediately after May exam, we will start with the remedial classes. And that too will be there when the parents would see, when the result comes, you would come to know that this is how your child has put up. So if you want to bring any change, if you feel like that the child needs more help in English or the child needs more help in maths or science, you let us know. We will start with the remedial classes. Monthly schedule would be test schedule will be shared with you very soon. My request to all the parents is that be aware with the dates of those tests, and tell your ward that they are mandatory to be performed. Like, they have to give those tests under all circumstances. You cannot leave those tests. Once the school starts, once we come offline, then your stamping of notebooks will be there. Every month, your coordinator will stamp your notebooks, all the important days and works being done in the school the things related to it will be uploaded on Facebook and YouTube. We have also planned that whatever achievements a child has done on his individual level, we have to honor that, right? So please, maybe someone is very good at archery, maybe someone is very good at shooting, maybe someone is very good at swimming. Please inform the coordinator, the class teacher, immediately when your child either goes somewhere or comes after certain competition, so that we can honor him, we can let rest of the team know that this is where our child has reached. Now, certain tips for the parents, right? So see, it is two-way process. I need your support, you need my support. You are right now teacher at home, and here I am acting as parent in school, because now when students are attending classes, they are sitting at home. It is very difficult for us to find out that whether they are there with us or not. So my request to all the parents is कि take the responsibility and help your child with online teaching. It means आप सिर्फ एक बार देख लो कि वाकई आपका बच्चा ऑनलाइन सेशन में बैठा है या नहीं है. Sometimes what happens is child switch on the class, enters the class, sits there, mute the sound, and switch off the camera, and then roams here and there, right? So it will be very difficult for the teacher to find out and figure out that, right? It has become our prime responsibility, parents and teachers both, that we have to streamline our children, make them aware about that, yes, they have to attend the classes. This will be feasible only when we will talk about them frequently. Try to ring up the class teachers once a week at least, so that you can monitor their progress, that how they are doing in their online classes. And it will be even calculated in the offline as well. ये नहीं कि once the school has started तो अब तो बच्चा स्कूल जाता है अपने आप कर लेगा. ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन दोनों मोड्स में आप एक सिस्टम बना ही लीजिए कि एक बार आपने क्लास टीचर से बात जरूर करनी है. वट एवर प्लस माइनस विल बी देयर, यू वुड कम टू नो देयर एंड देन. और इफ यू हैव ऑब्जर्व समथिंग, please let your class teacher know about it. Next is supervise your child while doing homework and guide them for the same. Supervise, it doesn't mean that you have to help him to do. काम नहीं कराना, सिर्फ देखना है. Whatever work comes in the phone, on your WhatsApp group or through Quest app, just go through it, that whether your child has done it or not. इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि आपने उसको बिठा के वो काम कराना है, सिर्फ आपने उसको मिलाना है कि ये काम आया था, ये मेरे बच्चे ने कर लिया. Keep a check of your ward's daily attendance. This I am going to make more easy for you. How? that जो भी क्लास लगती है उसकी अटेंडेंस रिकॉर्ड होती है. एंड आई एम गोइंग टू रिक्वेस्ट माई ऑल द टीचर्स कि वो आपके क्लास ग्रुप में उसको उसी टाइम पे डाल देंगे. और अगर आप दोपहर को देख लेंगे तो आपको पता चल जाएगा दैट योर चाइल्ड वॉज प्रेजेंट और वॉज एबसेंट इन दैट क्लास. ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट फ्रॉम योर वर्ड दैट वाई ही और शी हैज नॉट अटेंडेड दैट क्लास. और अगर वो कहता है कि येस आई वॉज प्रेजेंट, सी माई नेम इज नॉट देयर, ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट. उससे पूछो, अच्छा फिर आज क्या कराया मैडम ने, आपने क्या किया, आज का होमवर्क क्या है. व्हेन यू विल कीप ऑन इंटरेक्टिंग विद देम, उनको पता चल जाएगा दैट वी आर कनेक्टेड विद ईच अदर, आप और मैं एक ही साथ हैं. व्हेन वी विल बी ऑन द सेम पेज, बच्चे ऑटोमेटिकली और एक्टिव हो जाएंगे और स्मूथली अपना काम करना शुरू कर देंगे. सेकेंड लास्ट इज यू मस्ट अटेंड द पीटीएम ऑफ योर वार्ड. ये सुपर इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट? जब भी कभी पीटीएम हो, प्लीज उसे मिस मत कीजिए फॉर एनी एक्स वाई जी रीजन, राइट? मान लीजिए कोई बहुत ही हेवन फॉल्स एंड कुछ ऐसा हो गया, यू कैन नॉट अटेंड, राइट? तो आप एक फोन कॉल कीजिए, टेक अपॉइंटमेंट फॉर सम अदर डे, बट डोंट मिस इट आउट. उसके लिए आपको जरूर एक बार आके आप टीचर से मिलिए. ट्राई नॉट टू सेंड ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स एंड रिलेटिव्स. हम कई बार ऐसा करते हैं कि अच्छा आप अपने बच्चे की पीटीएम अटेंड करने जा रहे हो, आप मेरे बच्चे का भी जरा देखाना. वो फिर देख के चले जाते हैं और हम भी उनको दिखाई देते हैं. बट वट एवर इज देयर एट द बैक ऑफ अवर माइंड, राइट? सी, वी कैन नॉट टेल देम दैट दिस इज वॉट वी एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम यू और दिस इज वॉट वी वॉन्ट अवर चाइल्ड टू डू. उसके लिए आपका और हमारा मिलना जरूरी है, राइट? लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, encourage and motivate your child. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. Like I can show you my hand. I have 5 fingers. and all 5 of them are different, right? कोई एक भी किसी से मिलती है, कोई नहीं मिलती. Same way with the kids. हमारे घर में 2 बच्चे हैं, 3 बच्चे हैं, पड़ोस के मिला के 14-15 हो जाएंगे. Why should we compare our child with someone else's child? करना ही है कंपैरिजन तो बच्चे का उसी के साथ करो कि ठीक है भाई, दिस इज हाउ यू हैव डन लास्ट टाइम, दिस इज हाउ यू हैव डन दिस टाइम. वेयर यू फील लाइक, कहाँ लगता है तुम्हें कि तुमने अच्छा किया, ऐसा किया, अच्छा, ओके, इसी को आगे कंटिन्यू कर लो. हेल्प हिम टू ग्रो एंड ही विल ग्रो व्हेन वी मोटिवेट हिम. अगर हम उसको यही करते हैं कि उसने ऐसा किया तुम ऐसा क्यों नहीं करते हो, उसने ऐसा किया तुम ऐसा नहीं करते हो, द चाइल्ड विल नेवर लव टू डू इट, right? So now, my last request to all of you. After this session, I'm going to share a feedback form with you. Whatever queries, whatever doubts, whatever thoughts come to you, please keep them with you, note it down there in the feedback form, and share it with us. I would be very thankful to you if you share that. Thanks for your precious time.